All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to day 2 of IMU Learning Resources Festival 2017. So we have some interesting workshops and talks lined up for us today, as well as a competition about crime scene investigation, which is going to take place in the atrium after lunch. So that's a lot to look forward to. I'm sure most of us who attended yesterday underwent the interactive session, which was held by Open Learning. So that session circulated around online distance learning, which is ODL. So ODL is going to be one of the main topics which will be under our workshops today. This reminds me of a quote that I came across last night. We need to bring learning to people instead of people to learning. With that, allow me to introduce our first speaker of the day, who specializes in pharmaceutical chemistry as well as education and training. He also has researches in topics such as surface and physical chemistry, organic synthesis, as well as e-learning and big data analysis. He was also a former member of the Royal Australian Chemical Society and is a member of the American Chemical Society. So please put your hands together for Associate Professor Kang Yu Beng with his talk on Introduction to ODL.
Good morning. Thank you very much for being here. This is a very select crowd right now. Okay, I appreciate your attendance. I appreciate your participation in this. So I just want to ask you a question. What does ODL mean? Anyone? You gave me a definition of ODL. What was it you had said just now? Okay, but what does ODL stand for? Okay. Can anyone else tell me what ODL stands for? James? ODL. What does that abbreviation stand for? Yeah? No, in this context, ODL. We have ODL up there, Introduction to ODL. You know, IMU is great in 3-letter abbreviations. You know, IMU, PBL, what else? ERDI is 4, unfortunately. Okay? Oh, you missed the big prize. Okay, Murray. Aha, thank you. We got the right answer there. Okay, so Murray, I'll give you a prize later on, and the prize consists of more work. That's traditional in IMU. When you succeed in something, they'll give you more work. Okay, but you know I'm just joking. Right? So, ODL. There are so many ways in which people massacre that term. So we had one over here, online. Again, not forgetting that, you know, we are looking at e-learning. Obviously, someone will be looking at it as online, but it's actually open and distance learning. That's what ODL stands for. Right? I'm just using that as an example. I'm not trying to embarrass you. Okay? So it's open and distance learning. And what is open and distance learning means in right? It's all about transitioning from where we are, face-to-face teaching, to the digital university. All right? The digital university. The university must exist on a digital platform. And how do we reach out to many different people, students, branding purposes? How do we reach out to the big, community out there? The traditional universities are very, very unique. They are location, okay? They depend on location. So if you have University of Malaya, where is it? It's in KL. If you have NUS, where is it? It's in Singapore. If you have Cambridge, where is it? You've got to go to Cambridge. Where? In the UK. You can't go to Cambridge anywhere else. So the digital university, if it exists, allows to bring the learner directly to the university through a platform, a digital platform. That's what it's all about. Now, ODL is part of the digital university presence. Not only that, if you've read this publication, the Malaysian Education Blueprint of 2015 to 2025, that's for the next 10 years. We are 2 years into rolling into it. It appears as shift number 9 as part of the Malaysian Educational Blueprint. Shift number 9 talks about digital presence. Are we there yet? Are we anywhere there yet? Are we placing ourselves digitally out there? And if we have ODL, which is open and distance learning, it provides learning across geographical regions, time zones, as as well as it gives you flexibility. We've all been students before, all right? We've all been students before, and classes are scheduled at very specific times during the day. If you don't come to class, what happens to it? You've missed it, all right? You've completely missed it. Wouldn't you at one time or other want to have a little bit more flexibility? Flexibility on your part rather than flexibility on the teacher's part or even the university's part? How do we reach that? How do we attest to this? Students nowadays, I remember when I used to be a student, that was many, many years ago, right? I was probably awake more often than not during the night than during the day. Well, during the day I had tons of work to do, but during the night that's where we do all the networking, all the studies, you know, the extracurricular activities. Sometimes I've got a bit more time there. So why can't learning come to us when we need it? Right? That's what open and distance learning means. Bringing something that's distance to you and being very open so that you, as a learner or the learner, can learn at any time they want. Now, I'm showing you some figures. I've picked up quite a bit of information online. This is a publication from PwC, which talks about the 2018 Digital University. You can Google it, you can find out what they say about this. Basically, they claim and they say digital is here to stay and the game has changed permanently, completely. A few years ago, all right, you can survive as a university by doing face-to-face teaching, but not anymore in the future. Let's look at other let's look at other industries that have changed permanently. Music industry. How many music industries or how many artists are selling records these days? Even CDs are going downhill. All right, even buying of albums are going downhill. It's not being sold anymore. People are buying songs, not albums. What about your consumption of shows, TV shows? What do you do nowadays? Do you sit down in front of TV at all times, watching every show that the provider gives you? No, I can bet you not. It's completely changed. Let's look at other industries, the banking industry. How many of you have actually stepped into the bank in the last 1 month? Very simple. How many of you? You don't even need the bank. You don't need your presence in the bank. How do you do your banking? If not online, then there's an ATM somewhere. Correct? How has it changed? Now, the banking industry is an important one for all of us. I agree to that. But see, they had to change their services or be changed permanently. How did they change? They realized that if they didn't change, somebody else was going to change it for them. Who's going to change it for them? The IT companies. IT companies would provide services that brings banking to them. Now, what did the banks do? They had to respond to this very, very fast. And they provided services which are very useful to us. They are one of the last holdouts. Banking had to change. So if you had a checkbook, how many of you last used a checkbook? It's no longer there. Each time you use a checkbook, you have to pay 50 cents to write the check. Okay, it's far more expensive to write a check than to use online banking, which is only 11 cents, by the way. Okay, so things have changed. Education is already changing. A lot of universities have already moved to an online presence and dealing with students online. Okay, and the online presence is in terms of mobile devices, social media, and it allows for personalization. And the change is only going to continue. Any holdout in the university will result in their demise. And that's very clear. Okay? Very, very clear. Ernst & Young also published a report in 2014 that talks about this. Right? Emerging technologies, and the beauty of this is technologies are emerging and they're changing. Every 6 months something new pops up. So in the past, okay, you've got web technologies. And then now in the future, as we're moving forward, we have technologies that talk about geolocation, augmented reality, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. I'm sure in early, we've been talking about this, but do we really understand it? I envisage geolocation-assisted tools allows me to alert me of what's available nearby. I wouldn't mind going shopping with my devices. And as I walk past certain counters, it alerts me that, hey, discount, 30%, available only till such a date. Or it tells me that, hey, 2 floors up, there's something else, a sale is going on now. Or a crowd is building up somewhere on exit P3 of this particular shopping complex. Hence, I know I won't use that exit when I drive out. That's geolocation. Okay? For Kak Zhu here, maybe geolocation for me in the library could mean that new books have arrived. And as I walk past the library counter, it alerts me, ping, 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 new books. Ooh, this one I want. Hint, she's getting heavy hints from me. But I'm sure she already has those ideas, right? Augmented reality. We saw examples of augmented reality in the keynote yesterday, in which when a student wanted to search for a book, it isolated and showed the book on their mobile devices. Machine learning, okay? We can automate a lot of things these days, so why aren't we using it? Now, we've also heard the term of the 21st century university as opposed to a 20th century university. Now, I picked up this slide from SlideShare. Link is shown there. It's by a talk written by Bev Anderson, and it's quite well articulated. Hence, I'm using this slide. In the 20th century university, what do? We fill the vessel, assuming the students are vessels to be filled. Right? We retell, we reiterate, we do information transfer. Things are time-based learning, textbook-driven, and the passive learning. Look at the 21st century learner and 21st century learning or teaching. What do we have to do? It's completely different. It's discovery. Right? It's completely regarding discovery. It's research-driven. It's outcome-based. It's learning to learn, and it's active learning. Right? Are we even doing this? Now, all of us here, faculty here or students here, think about it. This is the transition we want. It's not necessarily just a digital transition, because nothing up there on the screen is digital yet. Okay? We're talking about transitioning the way we teach. But in the digital transformation, it's going to change every part of university, not only just IT. It's changing the vision, it's changing the strategy, it's changing the way we build communities. How many of you have got a smart device and you've got a WhatsApp community up there? I have several communities up there. I have a WhatsApp community for the place which I live, so that I know what's going on up there. I know when electricity is cut off, when the internet is cut off there, because somebody warns them. I know when the fire alarm starts ringing, even though I'm here, because somebody reported the fire alarm is ringing in Block A. What's happening? Okay? We build communities, WhatsApp communities, or various types of communities using your digital tool, right? And hence, we have to move forward with this. There are lots more pros than cons in terms of building such communities. So let's look at how digital interaction will take place for students, faculty, and staff. Students, perhaps by building a digital presence on the open and distance learning platform, they get reminded what to learn, where to go, how to enroll, what is the maximum impact in 100 days, You've got a short period of time to do things, so what can we do? How can we help them? What's the type of support that's given, right? What are the insight and analytics? Am I doing well? Am I an average student? Or I'm doing better? Or am I lagging behind? I need, as a student, those type of information. Support for postgraduates, Student life platform, so that I know where's the cheapest place to get a meal, perhaps, all right? As a student. Employability, that brings me to alumni. I want to know where the jobs are. I want you to lead me to the jobs. I know it's up to me to get the jobs, but I want that information. Wouldn't that be nice? And these are, by the way, some of the things that we are already building on into a lot of our platforms in IMU. We've got lots of projects, and we are doing that. How about the staff and faculty digital interaction portal? Let's have a look at that. Support in teaching and learning activities. Insight and support. Analytics. I want to know how many students in my class of 300 actually did the class tests or did the formative tests. So it gives me an idea how the students are following through. What other support do I need to give them? Support and research and publications. Okay, am I writing in the proper language? And I'm using the third person passive voice all the time when I'm writing. Could a program or something tell me and highlight it that, hey, I got to change the voice here in the part of my thesis so that it adheres to the way the journal wants it. Okay, funding and support. Can it give me information regarding that? Okay, professional services, self-service. As a lecturer, as a faculty, I need all sorts of information. In IMU, you've got self-service counters for HR. I can do my online leave application nowadays. Right? And we're beginning to move on from there. What other interaction? Well, we can look at university digital interaction as well. If you have an interaction online, it's branding. Okay, it's branding. You are out there. You can attract students. You attract staff and faculty, good quality staff and faculty. You can also attract partners because of your branding being out there in the digital world. And you can also co-create with businesses on what else you need to do. What else is possible? Alumni support and continuity. Because if you're out there all the time, an alumni who previously wasn't signed up in the university alumni may be able to spot you and realize that, oh, my professor is still there. Maybe I would like to get in touch with him or her. Right? These are the strengths of having a digital presence. And doing an open and distance learning is part of the project that we can do. And last but not least, content management and archive. I think we've all undergone one project earlier this year. Those of you from IMU realize that there's something called the IMU portal, where we've transitioned a lot of the information that we've been working on in the past and placed it online. And now it's easier to search, much, much easier to search. And by doing that, you get a digital university. But a digital university is just more than just having things online. It's facilities, being able to manage things, procurement, let's do it online, IT, HR, okay, some of our HR is online. We're about to embark a big project by late this year on HR, online as well. We can put information online. Who wouldn't want to have this information at our fingertips? Alert us when we want. All right? And besides that, we have marketing, library, the international office, admissions, finance and student services. So ODL, open and distance learning, is only one piece of the cock to allow us for a digital experience online. It's not the only part of the cock. It's one part of it. And we can exist online, all right? We have a completely different world to live in. Now let me ask you, how many of you wouldn't mind working from home? I know I wouldn't, okay? I wouldn't want to come here. I wouldn't want to brave the traffic to come here. I would want, if I don't have classes, face-to-face classes, or even face-to-face classes, I wouldn't mind teaching from home, okay? Just set up my computer, okay, run my classes. I don't want to be dressed up like this and all days. Sometimes I've got my life to juggle, okay? So this digital presence is important for us, and it's a big part of, our presence online. And with that, I'd just like to show you, we are making some of the transition. Some of the pictures down there on the right-hand panel comes from our ODL. Thank you very much, e-learning and Hasnain and Datuk Chai, for creating these pages. We're beginning to transition it. We have 5 programs moving to ODL currently, right? 3 of them are undergraduate, 2 of them are postgraduates. And that's our first part in making the transition to a bigger, wider digital world. So with that, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Prof. Kang, on that highly informative talk on, my bad for the mistake earlier, open distance learning. Through Prof's talk, we now can see that digital transition is inevitable in every aspect of our life, not just in education, but as well as banking, transportation, and so on. Speaking of transportation, those without transports of our own, how do we choose to move about? Okay, yes, Uber. Uber is a fairly common term to all of us, yeah, right? But what about Uber University? It's a fairly new term. Our next speaker is an expert in instructional design, computer-assisted language learning, as well as Arabic linguistics. He's currently the Deputy Director at the Center for Global Open Access Learning, Immersive Technology, and Quality Assurance, which is GOAL ITCAN. And he also coined Fluke, which is the Foreign Language Open Online Center. Please put your hands together for our keynote speaker, Dr. Nurhamimi Zainuddin.
Okay, may I move around? So I feel dull standing there. It's my kind of style of presentation. So allow me to walk around and serve you, okay? So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. First and foremost, I would like to thank IMU, Prof. Jai, Dr. Hasnain, for inviting me to share with all of you a little bit, I think, not a new concept as presented by Dr. Kang just now about ODL. Okay, so for those who would like to have my presentation, you can search in bit.do/uber-imu, so you would not the slide. Okay, so you can find it on my slide share. Okay, so today I would like to share with all of you about Uber University. We are talking about exploring new learning paradigms in open and distant learning, or we call it open and flexible learning. Because some countries, they don't allow the word ODL. ODL is, for them, is traumatized. It's a taboo. In Bangladesh, they don't put ODL in their certificates, or else people coming from ODL will not be employed, become their employee. Okay, so in Malaysia, in my university, for those who are taking ODL, we don't put ODL there. In the US and UK, for those who take ODL, will get more potential to get employed, because you are working, you are studying at the same time, so the time management is very good. Okay, rather than being a full-time student, you just study, study, and study. But for ODL student, you are working, you have families, you have children. But you still manage your time very good. Okay? Right. So we're talking about taxi versus Uber. Okay? In Malaysia, taxi driver, they hate Uber's driver. Okay? Because they say, oh, now you are taking my money. Okay? But as a passengers, as a customer, we would rather use Uber, isn't it? Because we can choose the car, we can rate, give the rate to the driver can rate us back, okay? We can complain to the company, but taxi, no. Come in and pay, okay? No matter how bad my taxi is, no matter how bad my presence is, okay? So you just become a passenger, and after reaching the place, just pay, okay? So how do I relate? The Uber system with the university. The future, we're talking about university in the air. University of everything. We're talking about IoT, IOI, Internet of Everything, Internet of Things, IOE, Internet of Everything and IoT. But you see, in 1 minute, in Internet minute, so how many YouTube videos have been built? 4.1 million. Okay, I think including my session right now. All right. So we're talking about Instagram, Netflix. Okay. So Dr. Kang talking about how do we do shopping online. We don't need to be in Jai Grocery. So we don't need to be in Tesco. So we just click, 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 and then the things will arrive. Okay. So earlier this year, Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Idris Yusof, talking about redesigning Malaysia higher education. Okay, Prof. Amin Nambi talking about RTRL. In his MOOC in open learning, there's one MOOC called RTRL, conducted by Prof. Amin Nambi from UKM. So Datuk Idris Yusof talking about democratization of education, dynamic curriculum, flexible curriculum, Appel A and C, gap year, personalized learning, modular or stackable program, Malaysia MOOC, 2U2I, 2 years in university, 2 years in industry, 3U1I. So have IMU apply this one? Not yet. Okay, it's to be unbundling the curriculum, lectureless class, okay, and jukebox program. But I do believe in ODL, there's nothing new. These jargons are not new. Okay, for those who are in USM for 40 years for ODL, UITM, in Makta Adabi, there's nothing new. Okay, I can assure you. So Dr. Kang talked about the globalized open learning goal, shift number 9 in our Malaysia Education Blueprint, right? So I wrote about Hutagogy and Jukebox, okay? Because Hutagogy, ODL is Hutagogy. ODL is Peeragogy, peer-to-peer. ODL is student-centered learning. It's ODL, ladies and gentlemen. It's already ODL. Okay? We're talking about Jukebox. Here, first semester in IMU, second semester in Japan, third semester in Brazil, fourth semester in Taiwan, fifth semester in Indonesia. So this university can study around. Change. University to Taiwan, Taiwan to Malaysia, IMU to Japan. So we don't lose money because we are receiving students, but we are also sending our students there. So it's a jukebox. Put your coins and select your song and then enjoy. Okay? So, I think 7th of August, I wrote in Berita Harian about fourth industrial revolution. We're talking about automation, robotics. We're talking about augmented reality, VR. Okay, so how do this kind of technology can assist us to build Uber University, where student is the rider, and we as lecturers, educators, we can be the Uber driver. So student can rate us. I want to choose you as my lecturers, so that the university, the institution that can come up with a good content, then there will be a very high enrollment. So now we're talking about dropout in MOOCs, dropout in OER, using of OER. Okay, lowest enrollment in university. Why? Not because of the university, but because of the content, because of the educators, the quality. So in Uber, only the good driver will get more passengers, isn't it? So I think IMU is going towards that, inshallah. So in the era of big data, the world's largest taxi company owns no vehicles. The world's most popular Facebook, no content, just platform. But we fulfill the content, isn't it? The world's largest custom craft retailer, Etsy, owns no inventory and 715 million in loans without a bank in Kiva. Okay, so I think I believe if in the next year, 2018, university is still relevant, but will be as an agent. People come and then they can choose the university they want, and then they can move around. Because Datuk Seri Yusof talking about first year in college community, learn how to bake. Second year in Sunway, learn about business, how to do business plan. Third year to Polytechnic, to know how to sell the bake. So in order for you to be a baker, to open a bakery shop, do you still need degree? Do you still need a degree? There's no yes, there's no yes, so it's up to you. Okay. NLP style, giving question, no answer. Okay? Right, so we're talking about open university in the world. We're talking about Ho Chi Minh University, Aero Open University of Cyprus, University Terbuka Indonesia, OUM Malaysia. Okay? in Anadolu University in Turkey. This is totally ODL university. So how do you think, how many students they have in Anadolu Open University? In Turkey? Wild guess? 1,000, okay? 13,000, good one. 300,000. They have 2 million ODL students around the world. Yes, we're talking about ODL. We're not just some kind of open to Turkish only. We're talking about ODL, right? We're talking about open. So why bother? Without even build any more buildings, without even build more collaborative learning space, we can add more students, right? Let's say IMU, we have right now how many students? 4,000. For you to talk with your top management, we can add 10%, 20%. ODL is the only way. ODL is the only way. Okay? You can have IMU Transit Campus in Turkey. IMU Transit Campus is all stated in MQA book. Okay? So right now in USIM, we are collaborating with International University of Renewal in Turkey. So all the students don't need to come to Malaysia. They have 1,000 students. So Hamimi will go to Turkey and do the registration, everything. So we just give invoice. Okay. Several lecturers from USIM will go for academic audit. Okay, to make sure all things are in a proper way. Have done it in a proper way. So the offer letter will come from Turkey, the graduation from Turkey, but programs from USIM. So we can sell program to the international university. Okay, 2 million. So if one student, 1 ringgit, 2 million, Prof. Jai, you can change your car right now. All right? Degree, okay. It depends. It can be double degree, 2 logos in a degree. It can be 1, depends on your MOA and MOU. That's okay. For me, if 1 degree, you have more than 1 logos, it can be, so you can work in Malaysia, you can also work in Turkey, in India, US. I think OpenU in UK have been using this for so long. Now, because we're talking about dual program, commonalities, collegialities, so this is the right time. Okay? So I've come with the Uber University concept. So study it carefully. So we have a social science student, pure science student. So for IMU, perhaps you only have pure science. Okay? So you can have your own lanyard year, gap year, or you can choose face-to-face or OFL or ODL. So first semester, you can choose, I have no problem to attend class, so I choose to have face-to-face. Second semester, I'm pregnant, I have difficulties to attend class, so I choose to have, I want to choose ODL. You go to ODL for second semester, zigzag. Third semester, number 2, still pregnant, okay. Third semester. Fourth year, now I'm working. I want to do gap year or CSR. So you can choose. So first semester, you can choose local university, private university, or industry. Because now we are talking about local university, private university, or international university. Because we are talking about jukebox. So the minister, they just give the idea, but they don't know how to liquidify the idea. So we say academics, we can suggest. We have idea, we have brain, we have a good team. So why don't we just suggest to the minister? Because the idea will come from us. Minister will come and go, but academic will stay there. Okay? So the second semester, fourth semester, fifth semester, then now we start with the 2U1I or 3U1I. You can choose for a local university, private university, international university, or industry. Okay, everything. So IMU want to be the UBA university, you can stand there as an agent. Okay, now you are from SPM. Okay, come in. SCPM, working people. How many working experience? 5 years. Okay, we can convert into this. Okay, so come to IMU. Okay, now you want to go to where? Sunway. Okay, go. So people just go. If they don't want to go, it's okay. That's the use of MOOC. Now MOOC 260 students, 280. We're talking about MOOC, but the student in the course only coming from the particular university. So we are talking about half MOOC. Okay? Still spoke, single or private open course. Okay? Right. So graduate. So when students graduated from the UBA University, wow, very tired. So this is learning. I've traveled around the world. I've traveled to private university. So if you would like to comply and use the concept of UBA University, so every university will try to build your own materials, educational resources, a very good one. Or else some of lecturers, tomorrow got class, but I don't have any preparation. No, it's okay. I just go and I know how to deliver because everything in the textbook is already in my mind. See? Some students are complaining. Right. So the real world of ODL is far too technologically sophisticated, as mentioned by Dr. Kang. Okay. Now we don't know students will when they study, what they will study, with friends, with family. So this is how we do it in ODL. Now we're talking about hierarchy. Students will learn from their lecturer from their professors. But now, as far as ODL is concerned, students are studying using the hierarchy. That's why in my lecture, one student or more than one student will ask, Dr. Hamimi, is your lecture in YouTube? Is it we can find YouTube? If the answer is yes, bye-bye. Right? You're talking about lecture, blah, 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 blah. Can we find your lecture in YouTube? If the answer is yes, bye-bye. So they start playing with their handphones. So the lecture in 21st century, no more lecture in the class. It's just a collaborative, networking, activities. So we're talking about flipped classroom. Right? So if you just give a lecture in class, the student will ask, can I find it in SlideShare? If the answer is yes, okay, I find it. So that's why we talk about hierarchy. So technology will not replace all teachers. In my in my articles, okay, I've mentioned about, but teachers who use technology effectively will probably replace teachers or lecturers, educators who are not or who do not. Okay, some lecturers, I don't believe in technology. I still use textbook, but I still can teach. Yes, but now we're talking about Uber. Now the riders will follow the needs or requirement of the drivers, or drivers should follow the requirement of the passengers or riders. Okay? So bear in mind. So new learning paradigms in ODL. ODL where learning is about highly engaged design. Okay? So we're talking about fourth industrial revolution. So you need to make sure you can use the VR, not just the technology, VR, augmented there, augmented here. But that's all these technologies is highly engaged in highly engaged design. Okay? And do you give the learner autonomy? Okay, in whatever you have been instructed and building, self-directed learning. So lectures, we don't call lectures anymore. So just call me coach, learning guide, learning mentor. Okay, because the word lecture is, I'm lecturer, so I give lectures because I'm a lecturer. Okay, so you need to change from a pedagogy to andragogy to heutagogy. Okay, so from learners independent, now learners are dependent, but now learners are problem finders. So IMU, I have seen a collaborative side there. So I see a lot of problem finders there. Okay, reason for learning. Learning is not necessarily sequential or linear. Not because of the degree, but they want to learn. It's a lifelong learning. Okay, learners accept full responsibility for their learning. Focus of learning, learners are inquiry driven. So we need to know. We need to teach them. We need to share with them how to ask. Sometimes they don't know, but they don't know how to ask. What kind of question should be asked? Okay, motivation for learning. Motivation lies in experiencing flow and knowing how to learn, and role of teacher from pedagogue to facilitator. Now we're talking about learning coach. Okay, not just, okay, open page here, page blah blah, and then read paragraph blah blah, and then make a video and send in WhatsApp. No, it's not that. Okay, and I am blended. I am blended. So now we don't know as students what they learn, where, when, who, and how. ODL student is very complicated and sophisticated. And so, what are the constraints and challenges in UBA University? In one book published by Commonwealth of Learning, I think this year, entitled Open and Distance Learning, Quality Assurance in Commonwealth University, including Malaysia. Okay? So, the question would be, if you want to build ODL programs in IMU, in USAM, in UITM, in UKM, so is there any national quality assurance accreditation framework? Yes, because in ODL, we have COPA ODL in MQA. COPA ODL, you can refer to MQA documents. Are the standards, measures, and performance quality framework the same for judging quality in face-to-face and ODL? Right? So when you're talking about ODL, you need to make it balanced with the face-to-face as well. Okay? Is your institution quality assurance? Your institution quality assurance framework linked to the institutional strategic plan? So I think IMU, you have your 5 years, 10 years strategic plan. Okay? So make sure your program is in line with the strategic plan. Are there any internal or external grants, funds, reward system to encourage support QA, quality assurance in ODL? Sometimes we just, okay, do this and do that, but no grants. We can change from the rewards, from the monetary rewards to grants, okay, and funds. So instead giving you prizes, 5,000 ringgit for the mobile apps, for example, just give 5,000 as a grant. So it will be continuing. If you give money, money will go. But if you give grants, it will become a publication, seminars, okay? A Delphi session, so on and so forth. Does your national and institutional quality QA framework judge quality in ODL in terms of inputs and outputs or impacts? Now we're talking about input, and outputs only. But how about the impact? Okay. Are any of your institution ODL course program accredited in other countries? So if you want to sell your programs ODL in IMU, UITM, UKM to other countries, you need to make sure that particular countries will recognize your program as well. Okay. So I'm using Badrul Khan. Okay, Badrul Khan, you can use it as a theory in ODL, academic quality assurance, you need to make sure that pedagogy, technology, interface design, evaluation, management, resource support, ethics, and institutional support. It's all in an A or A++. Okay, it's totally high management. And please bear in mind, do you think ODL only for you? MOOCs only for you? OER only for you? But how about the disabled person? How about people in rural areas? We are talking about fourth industrial revolution. But for those who are living in rural areas, no internet. So how that? Okay? How about the different mother tongue? We are talking about English, but people in Arab, people in Zimbabwe, people in Africa who did not learn English. So we're talking about massive open language, massive, or not so massive, or half massive. Okay? And different learning styles. Sometimes they just, as educators, just extract out from the textbook and put it in their LMS, Learning Management System, or MOOC. But they don't feel that, they don't want to entertain and harness the needs of the learners. We're talking about tactile students, visual learners, audio learners. Now we have kinesthetic learners. Okay, so the learning space in university also must be designed according to the learning styles. Now students are studying, standing there, coming there. Ahmad, sit down. I'm kinesthetic learners. Oh, okay. Go on. Go ahead. I'm kinesthetic learners. Okay. Now, audio learners. Okay. Because now we arrange students. Okay. Now you are taller, so sit behind. You are shorter, so sit in front. So don't do that. Place them according to their learning style. Okay. For audio learners, they can sit behind because they don't need to see the lecturers. Okay. They just hear. Okay. Are you sleeping? No, I'm hearing. I'm listening. Okay. But for visual learners, they always would like to sit in front because they want to imitate how you talk, how you deliver. Because at the final exam, they will visualize back. Oh, okay, Prof. Jai talking about. Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, we are talking about 7 pillars. So, our student will visualize back, but kinesthetic in the middle of the class. So, if you want to design your seat U-shape, L-shape, we must have pedagogy articulation, not just okay. You look nice, U-shape, so we can win the best class, smart class in IMU because of the arrangement of the seat. No, according to learning style. Must, okay? Hungry? Hungry? What is this, ladies and gentlemen? Buffet. Okay? So sometimes people go for high tea, dinner buffet. Hasnain, what do you want to eat? Nak makan apa? Nah, I don't have anything to eat. Oh, my God, we have 120 dishes, but you still don't know what to eat? Yes. This is tudung or scarf. Okay? My wife's from the leaf green, lime green, apple green, olive green, dark olive green, moss green, until light yellow. Already in the cupboard. We want to go for a wedding ceremony. Okay, honey, let's go. Oh, I don't know what to wear. I don't know what to wear. I don't have the proper scarf lah. See, belacan there? The brown belacan, but still don't know what to wear. So, even though we have many scarves, many food, it doesn't mean that the food will suit the requirement of the paper and the scarf. Ada banyak, tapi tak semestinya kena dengan cita rasa. It doesn't fit the needs of the people. Okay? So adapting ODL to different learning style. So we need to make sure all the programs must entertain and harness the needs of the visual learners, logical, social, verbal, oral, and physical. You can find from the link if you want to. So first semester, first day, last week in USAM, we are in the first week. I asked my student to answer this question. So now I know. Oh, okay. 90% of my class are visual learners. 10% are reading and writing. So my PDF in my learning management system or MyMo only 10%. The rest are videos. So next semester, okay, new questionnaire will come out and I will redesign my course according to the needs of my student. Not just recycle, 3R, recycle, reuse, repurpose. Oh, it's okay, I just use my last LMS lah, Hasnain. You don't need to revamp. Yeah. So I just use the previous one for the new student lah. Okay. So in order for you to make a strategic plan, you want to add more students, you want to build your VR, you can have IMU students profile. So you can talk to your top management, okay, we want to make more gamification because this is a data from our student. Okay, 90% of them are visual learners. Only 10% are oral or 5% are kinesthetic. So we design our OER or learning resources according to their learning style. Okay. So most of the thesis in UKM, education, in UTM, talking about learning style, but the thesis will remain in the rack. Now it's high time. I think it's high time for us to take the thesis and put it in practice. Put it in practice. Or else it will just become PhD thesis or master thesis. So, when we enter hotel as a customer, we will go to the food menu first, right? So, okay, sir, you want a la carte, you want buffet. So this is set A. You want Chinese set, you want Malay set, Indian set, Iranian set, Arab set. So we'll go to the buffet. Okay? So from here, in hotel, your order will go straight away to the chef or cook, isn't it? So the chef and the cook will take the customer order and then start to prepare the ingredients. Okay? Mushroom, chicken, beef. And then way to cook. You want to boil it, you want to fry it, you want to steam it, isn't it? And then the instrument, you want to use a big small frying pan, saute pan, right? And then these activities in hotel will be put under the theories and practices in hospital industry. And the chef or cook, code of ethics. You must wear apron, you must wear cap, isn't it? Then you will, the chef or cook will serve the food. And the food will be tested and validated by the master chef. Oh, this one's very spicy. Next time, put it down. Decrease a little bit of the spicy. Okay? Oh, this drinks is too sweet. Okay? And the tagging. Pro Rozan, I think, talked about tagging since last year. You need to put here, oh, ayam masak merah. This is a pizza. This is lasagna. Okay, this is lamb chop. Tagging. So when the customer come to the buffet, oh, I want that because it harnesses my needs, isn't it? Oh, there's a tagging there. There's a calorie there. Oh, okay. Calorie 100 gram, 1,000 gram. Yeah, just take a little bit. Okay? So how does this model relate to the ODL? Right. So I've been promoting this learning buffet since 2016. Okay? The learners are our customer. They will go they will undergo to the interactive learning style self-assessment. Okay, so we know visual learners, kinesthetic learners, audio learners. So style A, perhaps auditory learners, visual learners, reading and writing. So we will come to the instructional designers or learning designers. Okay, so we as instruction designers, we go, oh, now this one is visual learners. Okay, so we already know about their learning style, so we can start preparing the content, and then next the pedagogy. We want to student-centered learning, PBL, POBL, PBL, okay, A to Z BL, right? And then you choose the technology. But now people tend to choose the technology first. Okay, in Master Viva, in PhD Viva, when student, I want to use Padlet for it. The first question, why? Because this is the pedagogy. Okay, I want to use Edmodo. I want to use the model. I want to use this. I want to use all Web 2.0 tools. But why? Why don't you use SMS? Oh, what? SMS? So the pedagogy and content first, and then technology will come last. Even without technology, we still can teach, isn't it? So we don't put technology first. We put at the back. Even without technology, we still can teach. But we must make full use of technology because the technology is there. All of our students, all of them have their own smart devices, smartphone, iPads, Asus, so on and so forth. Okay? So all the activities will be put under Gagne. We have Dick and Carey, we have Molinda Moreno, we have so much. But I think the mother of all that design is under the Gagne 9 event of instruction. So when you put in the learning buffet, when students come, oh, this one is very nice MOOC. This one is very nice course because I'm auditory learners or I have a podcast there. When reading and writing, oh, I have PDF there. Okay, I take the OER from there. Oh, I am visual learners. Oh, Dr. Hasnain, you also put that in video. Okay, I take that. But when people come, oh, PDF, blended oh, PDFs, oh, all videos. I am reading and writing student. Don't like this MOOC. You don't like this all videos you don't like. Yes, because I prefer text. Oh, yeah. So when you put your learning buffet in your MOOCs, in your LMS, you must put tagging. Okay? Hashtag, tagging. This one is for student-centered learning. Even in Han Academy, okay? In Han Academy, you type there, problem-based learning. You wouldn't find. Because they don't tag the resources. But in IMU, I believe that you can. How many minutes I have? It's about time. Okay, it's about time. Sorry. Tagging and validation from the SME, of subject matter expert. Oh, this one, too much video. Okay, change. Okay, this one. Okay, the PDF is too thick. Then you must put it in chunking. Okay, put it in bite size so student can locate as a unit. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Any question, suggestion? Okay, tagging part. All right. For tagging part, let's say that your learning buffet, is it online or textbook? You need to tag. Okay. Now in primary school and secondary school, I think most of the textbook already use the QR code. So in the QR code, normally we can tag there whether the learning resources is suited for the language, in terms of language. Because now when we go overseas, in the plane, we will have some kind of movies, isn't it? And underneath the title will be 18 SG, 18 SX, U, horror, comedy, Islamic comedy. Right. So when people say, oh, without even watching the movie, oh, Islamic comedy, I like Islamic comedy, so I will watch. So now, people, when you go to YouTube, people will search first. Oh, okay, play 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay lah. And then second one. But if we can tag, people will see that, oh, physics. Or this one is for neurology. This one of medicine, pharmacy. So they will dig in. Okay, so, like the food, when we say, oh, masak, udang masak lemak, sangat pedas. Very, very hot. Or in the menu for Nando's, 1 chili, 2 chilies, 3 chilies. So this is kind of tagging. So when we put tag, it's easier for students to learn and for them to find. Or if it will be even easier for us to share with the people around the world. Okay. Okay. Okay, Prof. All right. Thank you very much. I take note of that. But I do think learning style is still important. Okay? Or else why we are not wearing same shirt today? Why we are not wearing same shirt today? Because we have our own preferences. We have our own preferences. Okay? Why don't we just wear white today? But it can be debatable, and we must do more research. Okay? Or if we don't use the learning style, student preferences. We don't use learning style, it's okay, but students or learner preferences. How about that? We don't use learning style anymore, but student preference. What student want? Because you're talking about Uber, the rider. Or else we have same fate like taxi driver. Okay, riot in front of IMU. No student, yeah, MU. Right, so thank you very much. Okay. Yes. How about that project? Because now I'm talking about the public universities. Sometimes we get a subsidized from the government. So how do private universities survive? It's a good question. Right now I don't know how to respond, because I'm afraid the response from me are quite wrong. Anyone? So I think in Malaysia, the keyword is employability. If you can guarantee the employability of the students, you can work hard on that, so you can still survive. So employability is in Malaysia is very, very crucial, right? So in order for you to make one program, in order to go to Ministry of Higher Education, you need to go to the office. Boss, please write one letter that you need our student. So we will go. Yes, the industry wants our student. Up until that stand, up to that stand, up to that stand. So I think there's a long discussion there. Very, very good question. In public university, I think we don't have any problem because there's a cohort there, the control cohort. So we need to fulfill from the UPU, blah blah blah. That's it. But for the private university, we form a consortium. But OUM is doing well. If you go to Maldives, welcome to Open University Malaysia. Huh? OUM in Maldives? Actually, Open U of Maldives is OUM lah. OUM lah. Open University of Maldives, but still OUM lah. And you can see OUM is everywhere. In Ulu Tembeling, in Pahang, OUM. So we need to spread out. AEU University, Dato' Ansari, AEU. In Seremban, AEU, small shop house, AEU. You can get your degree here. Yes, go. Okay? And now it's Wawasan from Penang. So IMU, you can have a I don't know, one wing or separate wing to tackle the ODL thingy. Yeah. So I think when the ministry asked to do it, then we do it. Because it's already in Amanat, Tahun Baru. So we can be as a urban university, you just need one building or one floor. Okay, people will come. Okay, this is your plan. Semester first, second, third, you can choose tick, 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 tick. And then you just pay to IMU as a university, you can pay here, and then the money will come back to the university who give the service. Okay, it's like a Food Panda lah. You just pay to Food Panda, and Food Panda will find KFC, Nando's, and then we'll give back to Nando's and KFC and get the. You just need one vice chancellor and two rectors, two deputy vice chancellor, student affairs and academics, or research and academic. You don't need student because students are not existing. Students do live in their hometown. Right, thank you very much. So, drhamimi.com, if you have everything, just email me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Nur Hamimi, for that highly informative talk. Now, I would like to invite Datuk Jai to present Dr. Nur Hamimi with a token of appreciation. Thank you, Prof. Jai. Thank you, Dr. Nur Hamimi, for showing us that the face of education is changing. Our lecturers are Uber drivers. The students are the passengers. The university is the agent, and the world is our classroom. This is ODL, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next up, we have the mobile apps competition, which is the students category. But before that, I would like to invite the judges, the panel of judges, as well as the members of the floor to the blue aisle to review the showcases and posters of the students.